there, this is Donna Kozik, and welcome to the Publishing and Promotion Mastermind. Today is about how to become a power author. It's the Power Author Playbook, Part 1. And I'm glad you're here today to hear some of this information and think about how you can apply it for your books. First, a couple of housekeeping items. This week yet, I am still accepting members into my All You Can Publish program. This is 15 months, all you can publish, just like it sounds. Paperbacks, Kindle, and PDFs we have added. So for freebies that we will design for you or handouts for workshops or things like that is part of our design services for people who are in All You Can Publish. Includes interior design and cover design of your books. And also you'll have 3 times a week writing time with me in the room to give you some feedback. And if you publish just 2 things with us, 2 books with us, you're ahead of the game investment-wise. So email askdonnak@gmail.com for more information. And I'll tell you a little bit more about All You Can Publish. Also, they were a success last week, so I'm holding them again. Donna Office Hours, where you can come in and ask me anything. It's going to be Tuesdays here in October, starting at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern in Zoom Room 2. And the link is here. And the way it works is when you arrive, you'll be put into a waiting room. And then I let people in one at a time. And so we can have a little 5-minute individual Q&A. And then you shuffle out and the next person shuffles in for Donna Office Hours. So if you're interested, you can attend those. I'll give you a little heads up. I was busiest at the beginning at 2 p.m. Pacific, and then all of a sudden at like 3 o'clock Pacific. So I answered questions from 2 to 2:30, and then there was a lull. I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is going to go or not. And then all of a sudden, 3 o'clock, 3:15, I had a line of people, and I finished at just about 4 o'clock Pacific time. So I'm having these for 2 hours. All right, so there's information there. I'll probably send out an email about it too. Also, everybody who is in the Community Book Project, the holiday contest is underway. I emailed out about it yesterday for those dates that have been reserved by organizers, which is me, like January 1st, February 14th, July 4th. And that if you're a member and a part of the Community Book Project, you can submit an entry for our holiday contest. They are all due the last Monday in October, and then winners will be announced on Friday, October 31st. I initially had Friday, November 1st, and I was Cindy Beckles came in and said, hey, did you know that November 1st is a Saturday? So winners will be announced on Halloween, and I encourage you to submit for the Community Book Project, our holiday contest. We're also looking for some more fill the pages entries. And again, watch your email if you're part of the project, and you'll find out more about that. All right, let's get started with the Power Author Playbook about how to become a power author. And I have power up your Amazon sales page with 5+ elements. So I'm actually going to go first to my Amazon sales page and point a few of these things out to you, and then I'll come back and go over them in more in detail. So, oops, that's here. So right now I'm promoting my fiction book, A Sugar Maple Falls Thanksgiving. So I'm using that as an example, but of course this is same thing for nonfiction books as well. And some of the things I'll be talking about is the cover of your book and how you want to make sure that it is readable, that the title is readable in a smaller thumbprint or thumbnail image of it. I'll be talking about your title and your subtitle. I'll be sharing more about the description that you can have, and then also reviews about how to get them a little bit. And then Kindle Unlimited. I have some things to talk about with that, our Kindle book in general, and then Kindle Unlimited. So some interesting information. And then finally, a bonus item is about what's called A+ content. And I refer to this kind of as a billboard for your book. And this is something that Amazon was doing a lot with its products that it was selling, and now you can do it with books. And I just wanted to show you what this looks like on screen here, because in my handout it looks a lot smaller, but as you can see, it's pretty huge, and it's really attention getting here for this A+ content. All right, so let me go through these a little bit more in detail and also kind of show you how one or two of them are done. So number one, your cover. You want to be a power author, you want to make it visible in thumbnail. And that means having a readable font. It can be, like this one, a little fancy, but you just want to make sure it's readable. And in fact, a little behind the scenes information here. Let me see if it's on even. I'll show you on Goodreads. Mm-hmm. So my original cover looked like this, and I realize it's a little smaller, but you can see where what had happened is like it's a shadow of black. And that's fine. I mean, it was fine as a thumbnail, but when I got it in person, the black shadow made it look fuzzy. So I asked Elijah to put a white shadow on there, and you can see how much more it pops. So it's these kinds of things that power authors kind of pay attention to when creating their cover or working with somebody on their cover. And one of these things about us with Done For You Publishing is that Elijah is really responsive, and not just because, I work with him or he works with me, but for anybody asking for an adjustment like this, he's really amicable to it and will do it right away. And so I just uploaded a new cover, and then it appeared the next day, but not on Goodreads, which is kind of a chagrin of mine because I'm doing a giveaway for a Sugar Maple Falls Thanksgiving on Goodreads. I'd like to have my improved cover there, so I might have to email somebody and figure that out. All right, back to our handouts. That's number one is your cover. Number two is your subtitle. So the title of my book is A Sugar Maple Falls Thanksgiving. And then the subtitle is A Cozy Small Town Holiday Romance Set Around Thanksgiving Traditions, Book One of the Sugar Maple Falls Romance series. And of course, that subtitle is not on my book. It is put there as a keyword, as a search engine type of thing to help get it found a little bit more. And so people who like cozy small town holiday romances, that's what they search for on Amazon. And so I put that in my title because anything that's in your title is a keyword. All right, it's part of a search term. I also put book one of the Sugar Maple Falls romance series because I want everybody to know there's going to be a book two and most likely book three as well. And then, so your subtitle. So when I was doing this and doing research for this fiction book, I was again talking to Elijah, who knows a lot about promotion and publishing and things like that. I said, could we do this for a fiction or a nonfiction book? He's like, oh yeah. So I'm going to be doing a future training about that, about how to add a subtitle like this to your nonfiction book to help with search terms and to help your book be found. So that's number two. And while I'm here, see if I have anything else here. Make it descriptive. It's not your official subtitle, but put it in the subtitle slot on KDP. So I wanted to show you that real quick. So this is my KDP account where I publish the book, and I want to look at paperback details. And the book title is A Sugar Maple Falls Thanksgiving. Here's the subtitle, which they have optional, but I put in that information so it would appear here. All right. So again, I'll be talking more about how we can do this in nonfiction books as well, but I think it's a really great way, again, just an additional way to get your book found. So a couple of things. Once your book is published, the title and the subtitle can't be changed. So, you want to put these in here right the first time. And if your book has a subtitle, say I had a Sugar Maple Falls Thanksgiving, um, sister fun cooking dinner or something, I would put a colon and sister fun cooking dinner here. And then the subtitle, again, I would put with these search terms here. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions about this, feel free to type them in the chat, and then we'll have some Q&A with the people who are here in my Zoom room with me too. Number 3 is your description. And this is something that you want to use all the characters you can. You have a lot of room to write and put words in your description, so why not use them? And the nice thing is it can be changed, and you can add reviews or other things, other testimonials if you want, to your description. So I will show you that. I just made some changes last night, and they haven't taken yet. So here's my original description. And, you can use bold and italics. I put these 5 asterisks here to kind of divide things up a little bit. And then I went in and I added some of the testimonials that I have here. So again, here is my KDP account. I'm editing my paperback details. And right here is my description. And I used all characters up to, I have 192 left, so I could fit in something small yet. But I added these testimonials that I got right here in the description. They're also on the Amazon page, but people might not click to look at them. So I wanted to put them in the description as well. I bolded a few of the key phrases that were in there. And then again, here goes the rest of the description as well. Also, a little insider information. On Goodreads, I got a 3-star review, and someone said, it's a good book, but the romance isn't really developed like I was expecting. And down in part of the description and in the categories, I had, a standalone. In fact, it's on here still. It says standalone happily ever after HEA. They all have these, all these genres and these readers have their own shorthand. And HEA, I had to look it up. What's that mean? Happily ever after. And I'm like, it's not really. It's starting the romance, and then it's going to continue in the next book. So in my description, I try to change this a little bit. Standalone starter series. I use the word starter a few times here. And start of romance I put in here. So starter love story kind of thing. So hopefully that will appease anybody, and it gives them a bit of a heads up that it's not a full-blown romance. It's the start of a romance here. All right, so that is the description. And again, Power Author uses all those words available. You could kind of think of it as your back cover, but you can actually put your website in here, your about the author, all kinds of things. So might as well make the best use of that area. Number 4, reviews. All right, so initial reviews. Don't be shy about asking for them. Over the weekend, I was at my sister's. She was having a little craft day, and one of our mutual friends, her friend, came in, and first thing Debbie said to me is, she's like, "Oh, I loved your book and everything." I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. Could you please leave a review?" It's like everybody I talk to, and like who are talking about the book, I'm like, "Please leave a review," because these are what I always say, anchor your book and make it real. And just like anything, when people are on Amazon and they're looking for books or products or anything like that, there is a big segment of the population that goes to reviews first to read those over. And I, the 3 star is still 3 star. It's fine. But 4 star, 5 star, that's what you're kind of looking for. And so, but I don't tell anybody, could you go and leave a 5 star review? That's kind of considered like ghost. You don't want to do that. But I say if you enjoyed the book, please go and leave a review on Amazon. And then number 5, this is interesting, Kindle Unlimited. So for most of us, you might have experienced that when your book is published on Amazon, it's almost automatically put in the Kindle Unlimited program. And I was kind of like, well, okay, people get the book as part of this Kindle Unlimited program. I don't know how that benefits me. And I was talking to Elijah, and he's like, it can benefit you a lot because Amazon pays for people they pay you, the author, when people who download your book in Kindle Unlimited and actually read the pages, you get paid per page. And in fact, so I'm calling Kindle Unlimited the money-making center for self and small publishers. And Elijah, my Done For You publishing manager, said one thing I was reading about in fiction is doing shorter stories for Kindle only for the page reads in Kindle Unlimited. KDP has a feature with a series where you can add something to a series, but say it's not part of the main I don't know. So chronology. So it can be on the series page, but not as book 2 or whatever, but a supplementary story. So when he said this, I was first thinking about, I think, Twilight. And Stephanie Meyer had her main books, of course. And then she had little short stories about, I know one in particular about like one character who she gave some background on that we didn't know. And then she had the scene from the Twilight book itself when this character was killed. And so then he says, here's the big news. Many of the authors I follow say that Kindle Unlimited ends up being a significant portion of their income. Just thinking that you could do thematically timely standalone stories in addition to the main books. So he suggested, Trick or Treat, a Sugar Maple Falls story, etc. So then when he said this and I started to think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I download, if something's available in Kindle Unlimited, I usually download it that way. And sometimes I read them, sometimes I don't. But I think about like how many people, Amazon users, have Kindle Unlimited. And there is a ton. So that is an audience that I could even do promotions for. I'm like, oh, are you a member of Kindle Unlimited? My book, A Sugar Maple Falls Thanksgiving, is available on Kindle Unlimited, so please go and download it. And even if they page through a little bit, that's how you can make money because that's such a huge audience, these people who have Kindle Unlimited. So it's an interesting way. Of course, I'm thinking about, promoting the book. And that's part of being a power author too. Like I'll be talking more about this in the coming weeks, but you always want to be thinking and always want to be doing the little actions to promote your book. But most of all, like start on the sales page. That's really what this is. So you want to start on the sales page here. So going back to what Elijah was saying, of course, I'm like, well, could you do the same for nonfiction? And he said, of course. So I was thinking that a way to approach this is maybe to have a series of 3 books in a nonfiction series, and then a super inch wide, mile deep, Kindle only, Kindle, so it's available on Kindle Unlimited. And a Kindle book has to be a minimum of 3,000 words. He said, Elijah said it could be a little bit lower, but 3,000 words is a good rule of thumb. In my Kindle Express program, I encourage people to write 5,000 words. But for the purposes here, 3,000 would work. So again, the idea is to have a main series. So for example, I could have a series of write a book, publish a book, promote a book, and then what I'm calling a super inch wide of 3 ways to outline your nonfiction book. And that could be a standalone, still associated with the series, but not part of the series itself. And that could be something that somebody, it's almost like somebody who could be searching like YouTube, and they're looking for something specific to do, or specific about, how to fix this sink item or something like that, where there could be people who are specifically looking for how to outline a nonfiction book. So that's why I'm saying it's really specific, super inch wide, mile deep. And I could have a whole series of these under, associated with my main 3-book series of Write, Publish, and Promote. All right, so again, if you have questions for me about this, or you want to brainstorm ideas for your series, and then maybe some super inch wide, mile deep, so you can take advantage of the Kindle Unlimited, we can do that for a few minutes for those who are in my Zoom room. And then last but not least, the bonus power item is A+ content. Like I said, it's like a billboard. I have it here on the handout for today, and I showed you what it looked like on my sales page. And this is something that obviously is based on the cover. This is something we do as an additional service with Done For You Publishing. And it's 3 different images, and then you upload them in the marketing segment of your KDP, from your KDP dashboard. Not this, but the main bookshelf. And then I'll just continue about saving. I didn't make any changes there. It's under the promote and advertise part of it, I believe. A+ content. All right. So you can find out more about that. And yeah, it's a bit of work because there's certain like pixels and the way they want them to look. They actually approve these, and they look at them and stuff as part of the marketing, promotion, metadata for your book. And there's different ways you could do it, but we like the 3 piece one. So these are 3 different images that we upload, and then serves as this type of billboard. And it usually says it takes up to 7 days to approve. I got this one approved by the next day, so which was pretty cool. All right, so that's number 6 of your Power Author, and it's bonus. Okay, this is advanced, as I call, but having this A+ content, I think a Power Author you really want to look into doing, because again, when somebody lands on your page, you want them to say yes to this. So all these items I've been talking about help get your readers or your prospective readers to say yes to downloading your book or buying your book. All these things are repeated in the paperback section here too, including the A+ content. All right, again, I'm going to go and answer questions of people who are in my Zoom room. So stay tuned for more information about how to become a power author. In the meantime, this is part 1, and this is Donna Kozik, your book writing and publishing coach. I look forward to seeing you on Amazon, and I look forward to seeing you in the bookstore.